presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. Hey, John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
I want to thank you, first of all, before I ask you about the stock. You and Tim Ord and all the gang at TFNN. I had a really, really good year after the October call you guys made. My 401k is up 72%.
Congratulations, man.
A couple of things I made with Coinbase and other stocks that I made, and I've had a good year.
And we appreciate you growling and prowling with us, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We reached the final hour of the trading week, and we got triple witching going on. So you got some option expiration coming into the close. We got a little volatility, and we're pushing the session lows right now. And the S&P's down by 22 points, make it 23 at 6,011. And you see, we're testing the lows of 11 a.m., testing the lows of 1:30. And yeah, we're trading a little bit lower. And that's after coming into the opening bell 1% higher. So S&P's off by 0.3, but we were 1% higher coming into the opening bell. And again, you back it up a little bit further on the S&P's. We're now coming right into where we were on that open on the futures Thursday at 6 o'clock. With tensions easing a bit, you traded lower when the markets were closed. We get it back, but how about that spike, man? S&P is negative by 60 from where you were this morning. NASDAQ 100. You talk about it, man. We're 300 plus points from where you were this morning. You're down by 129 points or 0.6%, 21,818. Dow slightly in the red by 50 points, only 0.1% in the Russell, negative by 0.2% right now. Bitcoin gives up the gains it had this morning as well, right? Check out that. Bitcoin trading above 106 this morning. You're at 103,180. Crude spiking a little higher. We're pushing $74. Crude 73.95, up 45 pennies. And let's talk some yields. Let's talk some dollar. Let's talk some gold. And you get the 10-year right now trading up 7 ticks. And yeah, we have a 10-year yield now pushing 4.38. Okay, 4.38. But look at the move we've had just from this morning. And you get a little Fed speak. They have the quiet period going into the Fed day, which was Wednesday. Now they're allowed to talk again. Christopher Waller out there saying, we may cut next month. July 29th and 30th is their next meeting, about 6 weeks out. We have the 10-year dropping a bit. And what's interesting, with all the geopolitical going, and then you have the Fed in focus, but the dollar just chopping around. We're trading at 98.69. We're off of where we were yesterday. The dollar's right back to where you were on Tuesday. Whereas yields have pulled back even a bit. You see where we were on Tuesday. So not quite the correlation, but nonetheless, and that on gold as well. Down about $21, but gold catches a bid from this morning as well. So you go into a weekend with some geopolitical risks. Iran, we'll see if you get any type of diplomacy. That's the chance that they're offering. And we'll see if it happens. I was talking about it this morning. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard. How about 125,000 people in that alone, right? So since its formation in 1979, which was before I was alive, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, and we're going to look price and volume on these charts, folks, but we're coming into a weekend, man. There are tensions here that are ratcheting up, and we will see where they go. And you're talking about 125,000 personnel, okay? The most powerful branch of the Iran's armed forces, and is separate from and more powerful than the national army. It has its own ground force, navy, air force, intelligence, and special forces that total 125,000 personnel just there, 92 million people in the country. And yeah, we go into it. There's that same article, and this is the one I wanted. Yeah, I think I closed it, but that was the one. And we'll see. It's almost mission impossible. We'll see if it happens. You hope for the best, man. But S&P trading relatively well with the tensions out there, even if you tie it into crude, as I've been talking about, man. Crude pushing higher prices. $74, $73.90 is the price tag on that crude. And yeah, if you weren't watching the program this morning, let's touch on it briefly. 6.5 trillion. Now, I also talked about, well, this is a great example, okay? 6.5, you talk about headlines, man. Anybody in the business knows that's bonkers, though. But guess what? That's the underlying of what you're controlling, okay? 6.5 trillion notional U.S. options. The reason why that's such a magnified number, okay, is because many times that's why people love options. For instance, you go check out the SPY. Did this morning, but if you weren't watching, check it out. And you have the SPY. Let's see. So right now the SPY is trading. Let's go find the, yeah, these are the ones that expire today, okay? And when they talk about notional value, there we go, they're loading. If you buy an at the money, I mean, look at this even, and this is why, well, you only got 45 minutes left to go in trading. But even a 593 call right now in the SPY only costs you $100 to control a $60,000 position. Yeah, $59,300, right? As in you're paying $1 for 100 shares, and meanwhile you're getting 100 shares of an equity at $593, which is, yeah, $59,000. So $100 controls $59,000. That's why people love 0 days to expiration. All right, we jump around to some of the equities moving. So CarMax, as I talked about, up by 5.3% right now. And yeah, we take a longer term look at this equity, right? I was talking about this morning. Not a bad point. Technically, $60. You're catching a bid by 5.3%. What I will say is if you're looking at this thing, you know, we have some nice volume. The week of May 26th, we're going to get follow through. We're probably going to get volume on this one. That's going to be the most volume we've had since the market lows around, yeah, I guess that was falling. That was their earnings on April 7th following all the tariff concerns, down from 90 to 65. But technically $60 is a nice floor for this equity, and CarMax up $3.30, trading at 67.63. Yeah, how about Apple catching a bid today? Now, Apple, put it back to a daily. Apple's got a nice bounce going. Yeah, you're going to have some volume. So we're going to get some big volume at the end of the day today. Triple witching will do that. You get options expiration, you always get some big volume at the end of the day, the end of the week, volume on the close. You're going to get some big volume. Apple, on a daily basis, did 72 million June 9th. We're doing 52 million right now, but we got about 40 minutes to go. And this market looking a little jittery today. Not a lot of strength today in that chart. As we trade lower, we push the lows, and we got 45 minutes left to go in the weekend, and we are pushing the lows. S&P is off by 23. Stay tuned, folks. I'm coming right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstadt's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstaddt releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky.
Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, in terms of talks, European officials emerged from talks Friday sounding hopeful that diplomacy aimed at de-escalating the week-long war between Israel and Iran will continue. A day after Trump signaled he would give negotiations a chance. What I find so remarkable about this is, didn't the initial attack happen right ahead of scheduled talks? And, you know, you had a bunch of things that indicated that there were no more attacks. One of them being talks. Now there's talks. They're saying talks. Anything can happen in any day here. That's kind of the point that we all should know. But it's not always that clear. As in, you hear stuff like this, just for some clarity. I was pulling one thing down in my ear. I had a little humming myself. Anything's possible at any time, folks. And you know, you see headlines like this, looking for diplomacy, etc. Keep in mind how the original attack came, because when you talk about this, it has nothing to do with technicals, okay? But yeah, you better believe there's risk going in. Now, as I mentioned, triple witching, and that is you got the weekly, the monthly, and the quarterly options expiring, and you got the dailies on the indices, right? And I guess they'd qualify as being, nonetheless, 6.5 trillion. But as I mentioned, right, when you get into this time of the day, what's remarkable is that equity decreases a lot if you're anywhere near where they are. And a lot of those numbers, like I just talked about, and at the money S&P put or call right now has a notional value, okay, of, I mean, this is, you're controlling, let's just do it because they're wild numbers. 60,000 divided by like the $100 you're putting up, 600 to 1. And so then if you do 6.5 trillion, which is a lot of zeros. Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. So that's only about $10 billion to $11 billion of at-the-money S&P calls. So you buy $10 billion at-the-money S&P calls, you're controlling $6.5 trillion of notional value as you approach near end of the day, zero data expiration options. All right, let's jump around to some of the Magnificent Seven. Look at Meta. Uh-oh. Meta's trading lower. Amazon's trading lower in a big way today. Meta off 2.1%. They don't like those Luxottica sunglasses? What's going on? That's a move, man. Yeah, Amazon off 1.7. Apple on the flip side of that catches a bit up by 1.7 right now. You jump over to NVIDIA shares. They rip lower. AMD. Look at these differences, right? Oracle shares trading lower, down to 2%. Yeah. Move doesn't look so big when you have a chart in there that incorporates the run it made from 190 to 220 on their earnings. But that's a move right now. Look at Oracle, man. You're down by $8 from where you were this morning. All right, we get some movement in these equities, man. Check out some of the airlines. Delta, down about 0.6% right now. Yeah, United, slightly in the red. JetBlue, man, watch out. Is this an A to B, C to D that takes it to 0, man? It might be. They had $8 down to $3.34. You catch it up to $5.53. Amazing. No, 4. Okay, it's an A to B of about $4.65. What's that bring you down to 80 or 90 pennies? JetBlue down 1.1% right now. Jump around to some other dogs. Coles down by 1.4%. 821 for Coles. On the flip side of that, some strong equities. TJX. Yeah, I'm starting to watch this one. I've been talking about this channel line on TJX. You're backing down with lighter volume, backing down with lighter volume. We got a shortened trading week this week. We're backing down with lighter volume, and you have a nice channel on TJX. Look at that channel, man. July of 2022. This stock was always doing well. You had a pullback on the taper tantrum in 18. You had the COVID pullback down to $32. But we were always rising outside of some of those fears in the market. You pull back on the Fed raising rates as well, and then boom, we take off to the upside, and you're right at the bottom of that channel right now. Mickey D's, one of the other best channels out there. Ooh, look at Mickey D's. This is quite a week for Mickey D's, huh? Okay. Mickey D's down to 285. Down by 1.3%. All right, look at these. These are setting up, man. You're looking for some nice, strong, longer-term trends and looking to get in them on the bottom. Now, listen, it does not mean that these things are going to bounce, okay? You're getting in on a downward move. You set a stop in anything you do, and guess what? You're going to get stopped out occasionally, okay? You make this trade in June of 2024, May of 2024, yeah, you're probably getting stopped out because this equity goes from 260 all the way down to 244. I don't know if you're giving it $16 if you're making that trade. That's pretty far out. It's about as far out as you can go where it somehow still fits the curve. But look how many times you could almost enter to the tick. And this one goes back further. This one's a 10-year. And you know, for the price volume you have on this McDonald's move, look at the volume. Even on 4 trading days in a shortened week, very light on the volume for that type of price movement. Mickey D's, though, down by 1.3% right now. Yeah, we check in on CarMax. As I said, $60 is a nice technical area for this equity. And the other one that's moving today, I talked about this morning, Darden Restaurants, DRI. Yeah, look at this thing, rolling over negative. Okay. I was on the program talking about this morning. I won't spend too much about it tonight, but they don't have their processes down, man. Olive Garden in particular. Now, Olive Garden's where your family, okay? Olive Garden's where your family. Olive Garden's supposed to be, they got great value, okay? I'm not going to say they're cheap. They're not cheap. That's not what I'm going to say. They're affordable, but even saying they're affordable makes it sound cheap. They're a decent restaurant. They're a good restaurant. But they're on the lower end of fine dining. Let's put it that way. But you're still ordering bottles of wine. They're serving decently priced meals, and they give away alcoholic beverages and don't even put them on the bills all the time. Bottles of wine. I tried to order a skinny margarita the other day. They don't make skinny margaritas. Any place that's in business, they have plenty of tequila. It's like a $18 drink, $16 drink, right? I'm trying to ask for premium tequila at a place when the alcohol itself can represent easily 40% of the bill, depending on what you're ordering. Seems like they're not maximizing things. The chart doesn't say that, though, okay? The chart does not say that, man. You talk about a run. And we're going to have volume this week. On a weekly basis, that's a strong weekly bar. On a daily basis, though, check that out on Darden. That's a tough one. You get volume off the top, and we're probably going to get more volume today. We'll see. You need, what, 600,000 shares traded? in the final half-hour trading. You're going to get a lot of volume on the close on an earnings day coming into triple witching on that equity as well, though. Markets feel like they're teetering. And I'm a little bearish right now, folks. I am. But they feel like they're teetering. You're going into the last half-hour trading before a weekend when you got geopolitical tensions on the rise. And these markets are just sitting here at 610 right now on the S&Ps. And let's see. Okay, that's not even going to have the volume at all. That's a 15-minute bar. We only did 16,000 contracts in the S&P. You only got about 3 minutes left in that bar versus the 28,000 contracts. But I imagine we're going to see some volatility coming into the last half hour of trading right now with the way we've had today. 33 minutes left to go, folks. Stay tuned. I'm coming right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps right now, Trading down 22 points at 6,012. We get the NASDAQ 100 off 120, and you get the markets, as I said, pushing those lows. We'll see what the last 30 minutes has to hold. All right. Let's jump around and see what else we have going on in this market. So some of that Darden, checking back on Darden, Olive Garden, okay, accounts for roughly 40% of Darden's quarterly revenue. They saw same-store sales rise 6.9%. Market was only looking for 4.6. Longhorn, same-store sales increased 6.7. Market was only looking for 5.3. That's a big number. Buy one, take one deal. Now, here's the kicker, right? This is actually a pretty good deal. Have you seen these, how they do this now? They do a buy one, take one. Okay, Outback, is Outback Darden as well? I think they are, right? Is Outback Darden? I think it is. It's Outback Darden. Yeah. No, Outback's not by it. Oh, that's Bloomin' Brands. Okay, but Outback does it as well. Because you order any meal, and you can take one to go for $10 or something like that. It's a pretty phenomenal deal. If you're doing dinner the next day, use it. Most of those entrees, you're talking about $20, $22, $24, etc. But nonetheless, they're growing their same-store sales by 6+% at Olive Garden. So, hey, somebody's paying for the alcohol there. But when I look at something like that, there's a process that is broken in that company, man. And that is a dicey scenario when you're able to just have servers handing out bottles of wine whenever they want and not adding to them to the bill. It blows me away that it could happen once, twice. I think it's happened 3 times. There's a process problem with alcohol there. Just think about it. It's not just handing out to the tables. That means anybody could be stealing alcohol, and in service environments, man, people love to steal alcohol. Okay, they love to steal anything, but alcohol in a service environment, it is what it is. That's the way it happens. I couldn't believe that they had that ability, that somehow you didn't have to enter that first into the system before getting your hands on an entire bottle of wine. Okay. Let's check out some other equities, some fan favorites. Palantir. Yeah, we're just chopping around near these highs on lighter volume. Pulling back today off 1.6% right now, but we're going to have some light volume today in Palantir. Excuse me. MicroStrategy, basically flat right now. Jump over to Bitcoin. Still struggling to break above where we were in December of last year. It's quite a run following the election. You go from 60,000 straight up to 110,000. And this is basically one big consolidation. And you're probably going to get a pullback at some point again, folks, down to the $76,000 area. That's what I would say. You're looking at Bitcoin, you're looking to buy. I'd be patient. You're pushing the highs here, you are, but man, you had quite an acceleration, and now that has to come to fruition. Bitcoin was pushing 60,000, you were at 110 in a heartbeat. And you're sitting at 103 right now. Now, if you are looking to get in, I'd tell you to get in Bitcoin before you get in Ethereum. And I didn't always think that was the case, but technically Ethereum's a mess. It's performing nowhere near where Bitcoin is, right? Look where Ethereum traded to on that run in December. You know what that means? Nah, that was a meme rally off the crypto regulation that was coming. But over the period of 6 months, the market figured out, hey, Ethereum's not going to be the benefactor. Ethereum traded below where you were coming into the election, and that's all we are right now. Imagine you're a big holder of Ethereum. You're betting on Trump getting in. You're betting on deregulation. You don't sell at 4,100, and here you are, break even from getting in before the election, and then you look over to Bitcoin investors that are up from 68 grand to 103 grand. It's a big number, man. Bitcoin reigning supreme. And yeah, I was talking about it this morning. Now, the market is trading meta lower. And I don't know if it's to this or just the market or everything going on. But these glasses are pitched toward athletes, have a starting price at $399. Why? Because they're going to let you see better than your eyes can even see themselves. It's crazy, right? But that's the case. The smart glasses contained prism lenses technology. Yeah, and you're going to see more of this start happening, man. as in everything is going to come to heighten our senses to everything, and it's going to be a non-stop. Look at this Amazon move, man. This is going to have some volume. This is not a good move if you're an Amazon shareholder, folks. You're going to have volume on a daily. You're going to probably do one of the top 3 volume days we've done over almost the last month or so on Amazon right now, and you're trading lower by 1.8% right now for Amazon. Walmart share is positive, holding up well, up 0.7%. We jump over to Target, up about 0.5% right now on retail. Yeah, not Kohl's though, man. And not... Yeah, TJX and Mickey D's. I'm keeping an eye on both of those because I like that trade. You could always scale into it around the bottom channel line and then set yourself a stop no matter what. And sometimes it's going to hit and then it's going to turn around, but that's the nature of the game. You got to set a stop when you're trading in equity. Like Mickey D's, great equity, okay, but you just traded from 320 to 286. That's a fallen knife. You're down by more than 10% from where you were exactly a month ago on McDonald's, right? Huge. TJX, same thing, down by 10% from where we were on May 20th. Look at those. It's quite a month. TJX down 10%. Mickey D's down by 10%, okay? There's a few equities holding up this market right now, but there are rotations going on. You see it right there. 2 strong equities down 10% over a period of 30 days. Now, earnings driven, okay? Earnings driven specifically on TJX, as in that run started on their earnings, right? May 21st, essentially. Mickey D's not so much, but checking out where we are on volume on the S&P. Wait, how about a range, man? How about this triple witching volatility for the final hour of trading? We got a 5-point range in the S&Ps right now. From about 6,010 to 6,015, you did get as low as about 6,007 at one point. You had a VIX elevated near 21 right now. We keep our eye on crude. Yeah, climbing crude, 74.04. And this is what I'm talking about. So you see, the market right now is pushing the lows of the session, and you have crude pushing the highs of the session, right? And this is one of the biggest fears to the market when you're looking at war, is that no matter what you think about war, trickling over to our economy, to sentiment, oil prices start to spike, and that's going to be a problem for equities. And that's the biggest factor I see out there right now. Nonetheless, S&P is holding up pretty well. You're at session lows, but you're still above 6,000, all things considered. S&P is negative by 21, NASDAQ off by 125. Stay tuned, folks. Come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps right now, negative by 24 points, as I mentioned, just chopping around that 6,010 line right now. And we talk a little GLP-1s. So you got AI in focus, and this might be one of the biggest factors coming up the last couple of years, though, in terms of the market, the future. Weight loss drugs should be first step. This is what the top cardiology group is saying to prevent heart disease. Now, they're talking about diet and exercise, okay? But exercise and clean diet aren't always enough for heart health. Obviously, hopefully people don't fall back on these because the core of it, and we all know it, okay? There's no revolutionary thing. Exercise and clean diet. Hopefully we do put more emphasis on that. But they're saying basically that that's not enough. And when you're dealing with the first instances of this, okay, the popular drugs are more effective than lifestyle changes and fewer risks than surgery. And now they're pushing that is going to be the first line. That recommendation is a departure from the previous recommendations that advocated for lifestyle modifications before putting you on drugs. Wonder how this is going to play with RFK, right? Because it is a little bit, the recommendations would work if people made those changes, but they're not making those changes. I mean, this is like so complicated how you navigate. Of course people should make the changes, but what if they don't? Okay? And obviously they haven't. I think everybody basically knows for the longest time, folks, that, you eat a balanced diet of fruit and healthy unprocessed food. We all know this, but they're not doing it. So now it's going to be, instead of telling people to eat better, we're going to put you on a weight loss drug. Pretty remarkable how it comes in. But they're talking about heart disease here. You're talking about cardiologists. And yeah, patients shouldn't have to try and fail before they're able to get powerful medicines that have revolutionized weight loss. Imagine, this is why I say, this is a change in a dramatic way. It does have the possibility of revolutionizing, what's happening. They use that word, revolutionize weight loss. If that's the case, and doctors keep telling everybody, go home and, stop eating so much and being so lazy, and nobody does it, and then they give them the drugs, I guess it makes sense to give them the drugs. And this is the fine line, though, that I was reading. The new guidelines, right? And check this, it's could have sweeping implications, okay? Even so, people should absolutely not cancel their gym memberships. Now, one of the things I got to look up more is that you do see in some of this stuff that you do experience some muscle loss in part of that. Okay, so it's always a little bit better if you lose it in the healthiest way possible. Don't fall back if you don't have to. I say it myself. I could be a little bit more active, eat a little bit healthier, to say the least, okay? But that's the worry, of course. Now, the other side of that is, obesity is just obscenely prevalent. And, yeah, but nonetheless, instead of telling people to change their lifestyle, it's now going to be weight loss drugs. Boom. And they're talking about Novo Nordisk Wegovy and Eli Lilly's Zepbound. That's the one they suggest considering Novo and Eli Lilly's Zepbound as primary treatments to avert heart disease, citing their effectiveness. So everyone's going to start. And hey, on a longer-term basis, yeah. Pretty remarkable, man. All right, we jump over to a little Tesla. So Tesla opens higher, you trade lower, you're down by about 0.2%. Reading this article earlier, and yeah, they do more than cars, obviously. But how about a largest grid scale battery power plant in China is what they're going to build. Pretty remarkable, man. When you're talking about China, but Tesla loves doing business with China, and its battery factory in Shanghai had produced more than 100 megapacks in the first quarter of 2025. The project is going to be the largest of its kind in China when completed. I wonder how this would have went if Elon was in the White House as he was announcing vast deals to start building power plants in China. Right? He's on a new mission now, I guess. Its first deal in China, and I'm sure they're looking for many more. But yeah, even they say amid a strained trading relationship, to say the least. But Elon's no fool, man. He's not stopping doing business with China just yet. Look at the volume drop off in Tesla this week, even on 4 days. 360 million shares versus 648 and 737. On a daily, we got nothing since that trade lower on June 5th on this equity. Absolutely nothing, man. Check back in on gold, just hanging at these highs. We're going to have some volume today. Look at that volume as we trade a little bit lower. Gold down by $27 right now. We check in on silver. Yeah, silver's got some volume as well, man. We broke out with volume. And boy, you're going to trade lower, and you might do it with more volume than we traded up on June 5th. Trading down right now. Off almost a full dollar on the day. And yeah, you're approaching 100,000 contracts, and we've only done more than 100,000 contracts once since the lows. So we get some big volume on silver as well. Be careful in this metals market right now. Prices need to consolidate a bit right now, and you got the dollar bouncing a bit from the lows in 98.76. All right. So you talk about Amazon. Amazon's trading lower today. Not necessarily on this news, but the last mile is still something they're trying to solve until they get driverless bots dropping everything off. But yeah, Amazon's ending an experiment that was using Kia Souls and contract delivery firms for same-day deliveries. Instead, it's going to rely on its network of gig economy workers. That trial had been going on since 2023, and it was going to try and give them more control as opposed to just having the gig economy out there. But the company has determined that model is not right for same-day delivery. Yeah, so they had rented Kia Souls as they were test driving, trying to figure out that last mile, but no, they just rather contracted out to gig workers. You know, I ordered something recently from Lowe's. I told this story briefly when it happened, but it blew me away. When Lowe's does same-day delivery, all they're doing is basically having an Uber driver pick it up. It could be another service, but it's a gig economy worker. And they dropped off the wrong product. I called the store. They had no ability to control anything. And I was saying to the manager, man, this is a mess. You were delivering, it was a fan delivered to a property, and the fan was going to get replaced by an electrician. So Lowe's guarantees me it can be delivered same day between 1 and 3. I tell the electrician, fan's going to be there by 3. You can be there by 3, no problem. They drop off a ladder instead of dropping off a fan. And the manager was like, sir, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And I said, well, that's a big problem. I said, and they told me, the manager of this Lowe's said, man, I wish we didn't do same-day delivery. If we're doing any other delivery, that's controlled by Lowe's. You know, when you get it shipped, but when you're doing that same-day delivery, Lowe's is just hiring anybody. And when you can't control those workers, that's a problem. And even the manager said it's a mess. All the time it's a mess. All right, folks, S&Ps, negative by 20. We're chopping around near that 6,010 mark. We're catching a little bit of a bid in the final few minutes. We got 10 minutes left to go in trading. Don't go away, folks. I'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the markets catching a little bit of a bid right now. We're up negative by 17, but you see a little bounce on that area right now. The final 15-minute bar coming in. We're down by 0.3%. Dow gets into the green. Positive by 33 points right now. We jump over to yields coming into the closing of the week. Yeah, pulling back a bit right now, but in general, just chopping around, man, all week. We get a little bit of a bid from this morning, and right now we're talking about a 10-year. It is just under 4.4. Yeah, 4.39 as I pull it up. 4.39 on that 10-year. Check back in on the dollar. Dollar's got some strength, man, and that's weighing on gold. Gold right now trading down $27 at $33.80. Yeah, Meta down a solid 2% right now. And how about we'll finish it off with a little bit of Mercedes F1. If you haven't watched that great Netflix show. Now I know who this guy is. Toto Wolff. Now he's running. No, now he is the Mercedes boss. And yeah, they're talking about Le Mans and balance of performance. And they won't join Le Mans because they have balance of performance. And he doesn't want any of that. And I'd agree, man. Because what you do, you have judges saying basically your car's too quick. You got to balance out that performance. And teams would have to adjust. Nonetheless, a little F1. All right, market catching a bid coming into the closing bell. Looked a little dicey, but markets, investors not concerned right now with tensions flaring up. We'll finish it off with oil. How about that coming into the weekend? 74 on the dot. Nice round number for our man Basil Chapman. There you go. Folks, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Be safe out there no matter what you're doing. We'll see you back here on Monday morning, live at 9 o'clock for the morning market kickoff. I appreciate it so much, folks. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Thanks, everyone.